What's up? My name is DeVante Wynn, and I am an alum of Reinhardt University. I'm originally from Carrollton, Georgia, and I came to Reinhardt in 2012 as part of the inaugural football team. I graduated in 2016 with a Bachelor's of Science in Sports Administration, and I graduated again in 2018 with my Master's of Business Administration from Reinhardt as well. I built a really great relationship with Coach Joe Mullins throughout the years, and whether he knows it or not, he carried me through the last 3 or 4 years of college. So when he reached out to me and asked if I was willing to answer a few questions for you guys during this crazy quarantine time, I didn't hesitate. Coach, I always am willing to help out you and any future Eagles at Reinhardt. So here we go. Hopefully I don't bore you guys too much. I want to try to make these answers short and sweet and try to give you guys some advice on how to be successful after you leave Reinhardt and share with you some of the things that I learned along the way. So without further ado, let's go. What's one habit you feel leads to success? I think there's a lot of habits that lead to success, but the number one habit that most successful people have is consistency. Consistency of effort, consistency of energy, consistency of holding yourself to a certain standard. You can do anything great one time, but the great people do things great all the time. What separates good from great is the consistency that the great people perform with. What separates the average from the exceptional is the consistency in which they move with. Everybody has greatness within them, but can you consistently show it? Can you consistently act on it? Can you consistently do the things you're supposed to do that are uncomfortable, that require you to step outside of your comfort zone, or that require you to be the best version of yourself every day? What leads to success more than any other action, in my opinion, is consistency. Can you still get up and do it when you hit a rough patch? Can you still get up and do it when you're not feeling like it? Can you be consistent in your action on a daily basis? Who or what drives you? It goes without saying, it goes without hesitation, it goes without question that my mother and my grandmother are my driving force for everything that I do. They sacrificed beyond measure to provide opportunities for me both in my childhood and in my young adult life. And to this day, they still bend over backwards to help me when I need assistance. Everything that I ever done in this life was to help make them proud and help make their life easier, since they sacrificed so much for me as a kid. They are my motivation. They are what I do. And you can't see it now because of the sweatshirt I have on, but other than Jesus Christ himself, they are my motivation to be the best version of myself. And I have them tattooed on the inside of my arms because they are where my strength comes from. So they are my driving force. They are my motivation. They are the reason I do everything that I do. How did you hear about the position at Play Sports? Play is a sports performance brand that specializes in equipment and sports performance flooring. I heard about them for the first time through an old strength coach, Alex Darenthal. He had a partnership with them, and he got a lot of old equipment and had went and worked out of their facility numerous of times when he was our strength coach at Reinhardt. And he was the first person to introduce me to the company and the brand. I heard about the position at Play, however, through a former co-worker and colleague at Reinhardt named Kelsey Carl. Kelsey, too, is an alum of Reinhardt who graduated in 2011, where she was a part of the soccer team, and she won conference championships there and was a very integral part of the success of the soccer program while she was there. But Kelsey left Reinhardt. She was Coach Pop's administrative assistant for a while, and that's where I first met her. And after leaving Reinhardt, me and her stayed in touch because we were working together and we were friends and colleagues. And she called me one Sunday afternoon, and told me that a position was opening up at her new company, Play, in her department, which is estimation. And if I was interested, they're looking to hire former athletes with diverse backgrounds. I fit the bill, so I reached out to the company like she told me to, and they interviewed me, and the rest is kind of history. What about Play made you want to leave your previous position and go work for Play? At Reinhardt, I was coordinator of athletic operations, and at Play, I am now an estimator. On two completely different sides of the spectrum as far as the business of sports or athletic business goes. But what attracted me most about Play wasn't the company itself per se, but the opportunity to grow and step outside of my comfort zone. I had been at Reinhardt for what felt like forever. I came in 2012 as a freshman, spent 4 years there, got a degree. Stayed there 2 more years to get a master's degree. Stayed there 2 more years to become an employee. And after 8 years of being at Reinhardt, I felt myself starting to become complacent. I felt myself starting to become too comfortable. And in a sense, wasn't growing. And if in life, if we're not growing, we're dying. You heard it every day. If you're not getting better, then you're getting worse. So I felt like the only opportunity for me to actually step outside of my comfort zone was to accept the position at Play. And what attracted me most, other than that fact that I got to do something that new or do something fresh or step outside of my comfort zone or actually leave Reinhardt and make something else of myself, was the fact that Play is an industry leader in the sports performance flooring industry. Not only that, when you walk through the doors at Play, there's a kind of energy, there's a kind of culture that kind of encapsulates you, that makes you just want to be the best you can be. The company is filled with people who do extraordinary things, both athletically in their past careers or right now in their side hustles or kind of entrepreneur ventures outside of the company. People come in every day at Play and refuse second best. They just don't say it, and they just don't put on a shirt. Every day you come in at Play, you refuse second best. They expect your best work every day. They expect you to not only pour into your teammates and pour into your coworkers and your colleagues, but pour into every customer that you come in contact with. Play has this brand that they want to provide the best solutions to people who want the best flooring or equipment in the world. And that attitude and that culture is contagious. And the athlete in me, to be around other former athletes and want to be a part of a team again, to be someone who wants to be the best version of myself on a daily basis, the opportunity to work for a company who hangs their hat on that kind of culture, that would attract. Those are the 2 or 3 things that attracted me most to that company. How do you use your personal brand to help others? This is going to be a lengthy answer, so y'all bear with me. Whether you know it or not, you are building your personal brand on a daily basis. We all understand how important first impressions are, but I think you should understand as well how important every impression is. I don't know if Coach Mullins made you guys, but he had our class read Impressions by Court Cooper. And in the book, Court Cooper talks about how every interaction, how every engagement that you have with anybody for any reason in this world, you're building a brand. And you establish brand equity, you establish value for your brand, your personal brand, in the way you go about your business, in the way you treat and talk to people, and in the way that you do things at a high level. So I challenge you today, whenever you hear this video, whenever you see this, or whenever you think about the next time you meet somebody or do something for somebody, that you're building a brand and how you treat them, how you go about your business, how you keep your word or lie to them, how you give your best effort or your half-butt effort, is how they're gonna assess you as a person, how they're gonna tell their friends and their colleagues about the kind of work you do, how they're next time they need some help, the way you treated them and the way you acted toward them and the way you went above and beyond for them, they're going to think about that and remind themselves and others of the kind of person that you are. Every single day, you're building your own personal brand. So, in sense and in turn, as a part of a personal branding project my junior year at Reinhardt, Coach Mullins had us come up with a personal logo, a name, and almost like a mission statement for our own personal brand. Well, I think it goes without saying my name is DeVante Wynn, so my initials are DW. I've never been the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, most athletic, or smartest person in the room, but I pride myself on my work ethic. So the phrase, do work, exemplify and embody everything I hope to be as far as when you look at a logo, how does it represent myself? So my personal brand DoWork in terms over the years have grown, and now me and my friends and my colleagues and my teammates and my buddies have centered a movement around DoWork. 2 Thessalonians 3:10 says, if man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. So, DoWork. And through this movement and through this platform, me and my colleagues are on a mission to encourage people to become the best version of themselves on a day-to-day basis. That pursue their best version of themselves with relentless effort and energy, regardless of what they may go through or what adversity they may face. So this personal brand that I developed through the same classes that you have to sit in, reading the same books that you have to read, I am now taking this personal brand and trying to provide a service to those around the world who refuse second best or want to be the best version of themselves on a daily basis, reminding people how special they can be if they trust God, commit to the process, and do work. So that's how my personal brand is helping others, both on a day-to-day basis as I'm talking to you now, and as a lucrative business that's growing every day. Thanks for that question, Coach. I like that. When you were still in college, what were you doing to achieve your goals in the career field or in the job world? I know Coach Mullins is going to stress it to you, so I'm going to double down on that. Internships, internships, internships. Exposure, volunteer work, workshops, shadowing people, just having one-on-one interviews. Get out and be a part of, participate, ask questions, expose yourself to whatever it is that you say you want to do. I have a friend right now who has a degree in childhood education, and it wasn't until they went to their student teaching that they realized that they don't want to do childhood K-5 education, they don't want to be a teacher at all. And the worst thing you can do when you're spending 25 to 30 grand a year on an education to get a degree, to pursue a job in a specific career field, is to get in it and hate it. You're wasting all this time, this energy, and money chasing a career that you're not even going to enjoy or that you don't even like. So I'm challenging you to get out and do internships. Get out and expose yourself to different things. I knew I was interested in athletics in the business of sports before I came to college. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to coach, be an athletic director, be on another side of sports administration, do sports marketing, do sports journalism. And it was through internships, volunteer work, projects that Coach Mullins challenged us to get out and actually do, and challenge ourselves to step outside of our comfort zone in, that I actually realized that I had a passion for operations, that I had a passion for athletic director type work, that I had a passion for the business and operations of sports. So I'm challenging you to get out and expose yourself through internships, volunteer work, question and answer, Q&A sessions, shadowing, whatever you got to do to expose yourself to the industry that you say you want to be a part of. Get out and do that as soon as possible and as much as possible, because it's going to answer more questions about what you want to do and who you want to be as a professional than any textbook can or any lecture Coach Mullins can give standing in front of you. Internships, internships, internships. How is it different working on the side of sports that you do now versus in operations like you did before? To make this simple, because this can get long-winded. As coordinator of athletic operations, I feel like I was the legs, the feet, and the heartbeat of an organization. I felt like every event, every sporting game, or anything that Reinhardt Athletics was trying to put on, it was up to me to actually make sure that it actually happened. How that the leg work and the tangible results, the actually getting work study in place. Make sure the referees needed to be where they want to be. Make sure the scoreboard works. Making sure that we have water for everybody. The operations of it were like the leg work of the business. And what I do now is estimate for play, making sure that I have somebody's budget. Making sure I'm estimating a project to maximize that budget. Making sure that I'm hitting the bottom line and managing the profit margin. Making sure that I'm reaching out to different vendors and getting accurate pricing on everything. I feel like now I'm the mind, I'm the brain behind everything that goes, because I never ever touch our products. However, I estimate how much we need, how much it's going to cost. I'll reach out to different vendors to figure out how we're going to get these logos put in. I'll figure out with our contractors what they're going to need to actually install the job. I work with project management to actually get everything on site and to actually work to get the job installed, but I never tangibly touch the product or the project. Complete opposite of what I did in operations. Coach Pop, in turn, was the brain, or whatever was on schedule was the brain, and that I was the leg work. Now it's opposite. I'm the brain, I'm the mind. I kind of get all the pieces together and gather, and then the installer or the project manager or whoever the case may be, they take it and they're the legwork. They actually make it happen. They actually put the things together and they actually operate. So that's how those are the biggest differences in what I do now compared to what I used to do then. How did the sports study major here prepare you? And what have you noticed that you learned in classes apply to your job now? I can brag on Coach Mullins and will brag on Coach Mullins, Dr. Epling, and Miss Horton in as many chances as I get, because I can't not think of another major, another degree path, or another class in general that every single thing you do is going to be tangible and not busy work. There's not going to be a project, an assignment, a test, a book you have to read, or anything that you ever have to do as a part of this program that's not going to be tangible. Everything I've learned, everything that I had to put effort into, I actually have used already in my career as a professional in the business of sports. Coach Mullins had us put together a workout program